Hello, this is Mr. Stansbury. I'm going to take you through the 8B assignment. Okay, so we start here with number 1. We've got expand and simplify. So here's where we got to multiply a binomial by a trinomial. And that's where the stack method really kind of starts to pay off some bigger dividends here, because it makes it, at least for me, it makes this a lot easier. So I'm just going to take this x plus 3 and move it over under here and start multiplying. Now it's like a 3-digit by a 2-digit number that you're multiplying together. Okay, so 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times x is 3x. 3 times x squared is 3x squared. Okay. Now I'm going to try to stop putting the zeros in here to hold the place and start just lining up the like terms. So if I'll do 2 times x, that's 2x. I want to put that in with the x column, so I'll do 2x here. X times x is x squared. X times x squared is x to the third. So now we line these all up. All of the exponents should all match up with each other, so we just add straight down. So we got x cubed, 3x squared, and x squared is plus 4x squared. 3x and 2x gives us 5x, and then 6 and nothing gives us 6. All right? All right. This one here, 2x plus 1. 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times x is x. 1 times x squared is x squared. 2x times 4 is 8x. I'm going to put that in underneath the x's here. 2x times x is 2x squared, so I'll put that under the other x squared. That's 2x squareds. And then 2x times x squared is 2x to the third, because there's x to first and x to second is x to the third. Okay, so then we add them all up. 2x cubed plus 3x squared plus 8x and x is 9x, and then plus 4. All right. Okay, I'm going to move this one. After I move that over under there, let's cross that out. Move this over under there. We got x plus 2. Get rid of that. All right, 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times negative x is negative 2x. 2 times 2x squared is 4x squared. X times 2 is a 2x. I'll put that in with the other x's. X times negative x is a negative x squared. There's my other x squared. And then x times 2x squared is going to be 2x to the third. Okay. Now, again, they all should be lined up nicely, so we add 4 and 0, and you get 4. Negative 2x and 2x ends up giving us 0. So we do 4x squared minus x squared gives us 3x squared, and then we have a 2x cubed. Okay, so we just end up with 2x cubed plus 3x squared plus 4. All right. Expand and simplify. So now notice here we have x plus 1 cubed. So really what this is x plus 1 times x plus 1 times x plus 1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stack 2 of them together. So I'll move this, move this x plus 1 down here. Cross that off. I'm still going to have to eventually multiply by another x plus 1. I'm just going to kind of keep it there to hang on to it so I don't forget later. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times x is x. X times 1 is another x, so I'll put that underneath the other x's over here. X times x is x squared. Okay, so that adds up to 1. X and x is 2x, and then we have an x squared. So that's what x plus 1 squared equals, but we want to know what x plus 1 cubed equals. So now we got to take this one and move that underneath here. X plus 1. And now I've done all 3 of them. I'm going to end up multiplying all 3 of these together. After I do this, of course. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 2x is 2x. 1 times x squared is x squared. X times 1 is x. Put that underneath this x here. X times 2x is 2x squared. I'm going to put that with the other 2x, with the other x squared, and then x times x squared is x cubed. Okay. 1 here. 2x and x is 3x. X squared and 2x squared is 3x squared. And then x cubed is x cubed. And that is what x plus 1 cubed equals. All right. Do the same thing with this one here. Let's see. That's 2x plus 1, 2x plus 1. And then I'm just going to be sneaky here and just put the other 2x plus 1 underneath. So I have 1, 2, 3 of my 2x plus 1s now. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times x is 2x. 2x times 1 is 2x. 2x times 2x is 4x squared. So that is 1. 2x and 2x is positive 4x. We have 4x squared. Okay, now we've got to make sure to not forget, and we've got to bring this last one down. So there's our 2x plus 1. So now we've got 1, 2, 3 2x plus 1s that we're multiplying by. That's going to give us our 2x plus 1 cubed. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 4x is 4x. 1 times 4x squared is 4x squared. 2x times 1 is 2x. 2x times 4x is 8x squared. And 2x times 4x squared is 8x cubed. Okay, add those all up. That's positive 6x. It's a really good idea if you, like when I do 2x and 4x, I get 6x. It's a really good idea to put the plus out there before you even start doing the next one, so you don't start mashing a whole bunch of numbers together and not knowing what's going on in between them. 4x squared and 8x squared is 12x squared, and then 8x cubed. All right. All right, let's see. Let's take a look at the next one here. Oops, there we go. Expand and simplify. So this first one here, you can either distribute the x through first and then multiply what you have left over, or you can multiply these first and distribute the x through at the end. It really doesn't matter which one you do. I'm going to move this x plus 2 under here. Multiply that out, and then just multiply my result by x. Okay. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times x is 2x. Let's see. X times 3 is 3x. And then x times x is x squared. So we get a 6 here. 2x and 3x is positive 5x. And then we have an x squared. Okay. Now again, I can't forget about my x. I got to bring that x down here. So really, it's this whole thing I just found times x. So now I just distribute the x through to all those, and x times x squared is x cubed. X times 5x is 5x squared, and x times 6 is 6x. All right? E. Doesn't matter which ones you do first. I'm going to try to do the simpler ones first. X plus 1. So 1 times 3 is 3. 1 times x is x. X times 3 is 3x. And then x times x is x squared. So that's a positive 3. X times 3x is positive 4x. And we got an x squared there. Okay? So we got these all taken care of over here. Now I got to get the 3x plus 2 in there. So I would put 3x plus 2 underneath and then multiply one last time. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 4x is 8x. 2 times x squared is 2x squared. 3x times 3 is 9x. 3x times 4x is 12x squared. And then 3x times x squared is 3x cubed. So now add those all together. That's 6. That's what, 17x positive. And that's positive 14x squared. And then there's our 3x cubed. Alright, and that's what those equal, all multiplied together. Same idea as a up here. I'm going to multiply these two together first and then just distribute my negative 3x through at the end. You can do it however you want, but that's how I want to do it. So I'm going to do it that way. 2x minus 1. Okay, so negative 1 times 2 is negative 2. Negative 1 times x is negative x. 2x times 2 is 4x. 2x times x is 2x squared. Okay, so that's negative 2. 4x minus x is positive 3x. And then we have a 2x squared. Now I got to make sure that I bring that down here. And that means I'm multiplying everything by negative 3x. So, distribute that negative 3x through. Negative 3x, well, let's do this. Negative 3 times 2 is negative 6. And x times x squared is x cubed. Negative 3 times positive 3 is negative 9. X times x is x squared. Negative 3 times negative 2 is positive 6. And x times no x's over there is just a plain old x. Alright? Alright. Last couple of problems coming up here. Expand and simplify. So we're again just going to multiply those things all out. And away we go. So let's see, I'm going to move my x plus 2 under here. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times x is 2x. X times 1 is x. X times x is x squared. So that gives us 2 here. That's positive 3x there and x squared there. And then I'm going to bring the x plus 3 down under here. X plus 3 and multiply again. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 3x is 9x. 3 times x squared is 3x squared. X times 2 is 2x. X times 3x is 3x squared. And x times x squared is x cubed. So we add those all together and we get a positive 6. That's positive 11x. That's a positive 6x squared. And there's our x cubed. Okay. This one here, let's move that x plus 1 under here. 1 times 3 is 3. 1 times x is x. X times 3 is 3x. X times x is x squared. So there's a 3. 3x and x is 4x, positive at 4x, and then x squared. And I'm going to move my 3x plus 2 underneath here. 3x plus 2. Okay. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 4x is 8x. 2 times x squared is 2x squared. And then 3x times 3 is 9x. 3x times 4x is 12x squared. And then 3x times x squared is 3x cubed. Add those all together. Get positive 6. 8x and 9x is positive 17x. 12x squared and 2x squared is 14x squared. And then a 3x cubed. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Let's try this one here. Ooh, we got minus x over there. They got x in a different spot. I'm just going to put this one underneath here. 3x plus 2. And then we'll get that one later. 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. 2 times x is 2x. 3x times negative 2 is negative 6x. 3x times x is 3x squared. Okay? Add those up, and I get negative 4. That's negative 4x, and that's 3x squared. Now I'm going to want to bring this down under here. 1 minus x. Okay, and then that. Now once I multiply this and add it together, that'll take care of all this. Negative x times 4 is positive 4x. Negative x times negative 4x. Negative times negative is a positive. 4x times x is 4x squared. Negative x times 3x squared is negative 3x cubed, right? 1 times negative 4 is negative 4. If you'll notice over here, I don't have any constants yet, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to put my negative 4 over here. And then 1 times negative 4x is going to go with my other x's, negative 4x. And then 1 times 3x squared is going to be 3x squared. I'm going to put it in that one there. And then add everything together. Those end up turning into 0. And so there's our 7x squared and then negative 3x cubed. All right, so we get 3x cubed plus 7x squared minus 4. Okay, last one. This one here. State how many terms would be in the expansion of the following. So you don't actually have to multiply it out. They're just saying how many different terms would you have. So if we have 2 times 2, like if we were to, remember if like we do our little stack thing here, we would go 1, there'd be 1 here, right? And then this would make 2. These two together would make 3, and then these two together would make 4. So there would have to be 4 terms. Okay. This one here, if I put my e plus f under here to make it look a little nicer, I'm going to multiply this f by every one of these here. So this f is going to get 1, 2, 3, 4. And then this e is going to be multiplied by also by all 4. So it's going to be 4 plus 4, which gives us 8 terms. Okay. And then last one here, we've got these two. By these two, we just figured out that these two together are going to be 4 terms. Right? And if we take these 2 terms and multiply it by these 4 terms, it's going to be just like this one. These 4 terms by these 2 terms. So we know that multiplying this by each of those 4 and this by each of those 4 is going to give us 4 plus 4, which is going to be 8 total terms. Okay. All right, that's all there is for the 8B. Sorry. If you have any other questions, please feel free to ask in class. Thanks.